Well, thanks again for being here. I really appreciate it. Why don't you just go ahead and give like a quick introduction on who you are and let my viewers know, a little bit more about yourself.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. Also, man, it's kind of nice because when I first bought the course, my wildest dream, I didn't think I'll actually be on the call with you, man. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Your
it's kind
your
of cool.
story always sticks out in my mind because it's like one of the coolest. So I think a
Yeah,
lot of people will relate to it.
yeah. So I started out. My name is Lamont West, and I started out in the mortgage business for about 10 years. And then when the crash happened, I realized, and it's like, wow, man, I really don't have control of, of pretty much anything in my financial future. And also start to realize that, every time I close a deal, there was no residual income. So I basically put myself out of work. I was unemployed every time I
Oh,
close a
bummer.
transaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I was paying a guy to do a website for me. And I just did the math. I was like, wow. I said, if he had 10 clients at what I'm paying him, I was like, he's doing pretty good in his residual income.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's residual income. So that's what kind of got me going. And then I jumped online to kind of see, look for a path. And it was confusing. It was pretty confusing because everybody was saying that they, had the best product or the best system.
Yeah.
And then, I basically ran across Maps Mentor, and I kind of the video, and that's when I realized it's power in video because when you was delivering that message, I realized that I felt like I could trust it,
Awesome.
right?
Yeah.
So the noise, it was a lot of noise going on in my head at that time as far as which direction to take. And then when I saw that video, man, I was like, look, I'm gonna go this route. I'm gonna leave everything else alone. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna learn that one thing,
Yeah.
right?
Focus is key, right?
Oh my goodness. And then once I actually got in there, starting out the price point was everything. So it was priced in a way to where, I could fit that into the budget.
Hmm.
And then when I got back there, I was like, man, this is cool. It's like, it's education. It's real education. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It wasn't a video that was generalized and everything. It was like, you do this, you do that, and this is going to happen. And then you do this, and it was awesome.
Awesome.
So that's how I got started basically from the mortgage business, realizing I didn't have control of my future, jumped on the internet, looked at some items, and then ran across Maps Mentor. Man, it was a godsend.
Awesome. Cool. So, yeah, that's a great background. I can remember specifically actually talking to you, and if I remember correctly, you were
Hmm.
talking about kind of like the cubicle life, and you didn't have time to spend with the family and, working, I think you said like 60 hours a week.
It was crazy, and that wasn't enough. Yeah, that you're absolutely right. So the routine was me and my wife. We worked pretty much in the same area, so we carpool to work.
Okay.
And I remember one of the routines is we go to Starbucks, right? Get the
Hmm.
coffee, get the oil to
Yep.
get through the day. And I seen these two guys inside of Starbucks, and they were just sitting down chilling, man. They wasn't doing anything. I was like, man, they don't have anywhere to go. They're not jumping in the traffic. I'm trying to rush in and get my Starbucks. And I just told them one day, I was like, you know what? I said, man, you guys have it figured out, huh? And they go, what you talking about? I go, man, y'all just in here relaxing. You're not getting in the traffic. And they just smiled at me. And on that day, I was like, you know what? That's what I want. I
Yeah.
want to be able to come in, not rush, not get in that traffic, and definitely don't go to work and sit in a cubicle for 60 hours minimum.
Yeah.
And it was pretty crazy, but no one liked it. I did it because I needed a paycheck, but
Yeah.
I didn't like what I did. I guess I liked what I did, but I didn't like the environment.
Hmm.
You had people in there were so stressed, literally passing out
That's
from
crazy.
from anxiety,
Wow.
right? And I remember one day, it was like 200. It was 200 employees. They took us down to the basement, is what they called it, and it was right before it was November. I
Hmm.
remember that vividly. It was November, and they basically told us that if we made it down to the basement, that our job was safe.
Huh.
The ones who didn't get called down to the basement got fired that day. No
Wow.
warning, no nothing.
That's crazy.
And ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
So at that point, I realized, like, you know what? I need to do something. I need to do it fast.
Yeah.
So after working, you know, six, 10 hours a day, minimum 8 to 10 hours a day. Um, I was on your course, man, from once I got home, got the house settled to 2, 3 in the morning, just learning everything I had to learn. Um,
Awesome.
yep. And then just kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it, kept doing it. And then finally it started sticking. And the part for me was is when you say, look, just find an AC company. You have to do it for free at first
Yeah.
because people don't trust you. And I was like, man, I need money, man. I need
Yeah.
I was like, do it for free. But I did. I was like, you know what? I said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna follow it to the T. And if it don't work, then I'll go get another job. And I followed it to the T. I called an AC company. I was like, listen, I generate leads for AC companies. I would like to, do some work for you. You don't have to pay me now until I generate business for you.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the phone started ringing. And when it
Awesome.
rang, when the phone rang, once I got the relationship with the AC guy, I set up the autoresponders, did everything like you said in the system. And when I got that first lead, then I was sold.
Awesome.
Right?
It's a common trend I'm hearing with everyone I'm interviewing is that they all were skeptical about doing it for free at first, but then the referrals start to come after that, one happy business owner, and they just start spreading the word. And a lot of people I'm finding out weren't even asking for referrals. The business owners were just, happily giving them referrals. And why wouldn't they, right?
Right. Yeah. Because, and what I found is that then I started getting kind of picky because I started listening on some of the calls. And I noticed that he was basically, they weren't handling the calls properly.
Yeah.
So he
It
wasn't
happens a
really
lot.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I started coaching him up on how they should, one thing I know how to do, I know how to sell, right? I
Yeah.
was in the mortgage business for 10 years. There's certain things you say and certain things you don't say.
Yep.
So it was an opportunity for me to add value to that relationship as well.
That's cool.
And then, so once I got that confidence, Paul, what I did was I started looking into finding other ways to get business. Well, not new ways, but other ways for myself.
Cross sells and upsells.
Mm-hmm. But I sent out an email. Believe it or not, I sent out one email and I got a response. Well, it wasn't one. It was probably about 25 emails.
Okay.
And I started out talking about reputation management at the time.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah,
Remember you was doing the reputation management piece?
Goes hand in hand because what good is ranking on the first page if they don't have a good, rating or good reviews, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this one client, he had I sent a reputation management email. At that time, he had a 1.1 rating and he had
Ouch.
6 reviews.
Okay.
Yes, but he responded. And when he responded, I said, look, it doesn't do us any good at this point to get you ranked at this point. We have to get your reputation situated first. Otherwise, the traffic that we drive, they're not going to call you.
Yeah.
So he bought into to my recommendation. And then 6 months later, he had roughly 60 reviews.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, just educated him on the process of whenever you complete that job, that's the most important time for you to ask and have your reps asking for those reviews. So they started in that strategy. And then once he got the reviews going, he go, I know you do something else. What else do you do? Right?
Yeah. It's
And
like
then
you don't even really have to sell.
Right.
When you do a good job, people just want to know more. So
They want to, yeah.
yeah.
And so that's how it led. And so that led to another local marketing client. And I've used, of course, the Mapped Mentor to get them ranked. And right now we got them ranked for roughly like 10 or 18 keywords.
Awesome.
In his local city. And then once he, got those keywords solidified, his phone was ringing, converting those into sales. He did phenomenal. And again, through this whole process, I'm selling myself also because I believe it. But now that I know that I know that I know, it's like it's no stopping.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. So let's just kind of clarify where you're at right now. I mean, I kind of know where you're at, but everyone else, you went from 60 hours cubicle life. Where are you now? I mean, you're full time, I know, but why don't you just explain to everyone else?
Well, this is the thing, man. I have a hard job right now. Okay, I get up in the morning and I drop my 7-year-old daughter off at school every morning without fail.
Awesome.
Yep. I also get to pick her up every day without fail.
Nice.
Right. Then I take her to gymnastics practice. right? And
Awesome.
now we just got started, doing golf. So that's like the most important thing for me at this point. And then also have a 19-year-old son who we actually get up every morning and go to work together,
Oh,
right?
cool.
So I'm actually teaching him. He actually did the MAPS mentor program as well,
Oh, that's
right?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, but that's how he's going to pay for his college.
That's really cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's learning the whole program. He's learning how to market and make money online. Um, it was important for me because I did the college thing and I love education. Not necessarily college I've learned, right?
Hmm.
I think I drank the Kool-Aid, but I got the degree, went out, got a good job, the whole 9 yards,
Yeah.
but there was no freedom,
Hmm.
right? There was no freedom. So
Yeah.
my whole thing with him is both I have 3 kids, so all my children now is I want them to go to college, but go to college with a different mentality. You go to
Yeah.
college not to go get a job, but you go to impact the world.
Hmm.
And the way you do that is you already have your finances and everything in order.
Yeah. I think college is a great investment if you can afford it, if you can pay for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, um,
Exactly.
so that's where we are now. And then got a couple of exciting things that we're working on as well. So that's the fun stuff. But also we steady working and tweaking, working on automation right now.
Oh, cool.
As far as once we actually get that client, I want to make sure that we look for every opportunity to service them.
Yeah.
Um, so full time I'm doing local marketing. Then also I have a directory site that I use as a trust trigger product as a lead in
Hmm.
because it's not easy to talk to everybody. Everybody's not going to pay you the $1,500 down immediately without knowing you.
Yep.
But what I found is a lot of people, still use Yellow Pages. They still use these different directory sites.
Yeah.
And I looked at it. I go, these guys, man, they raise their hand and they're actually paying for the marketing. But
Hmm.
what they're doing is they're putting themselves in an atmosphere of competition,
Yeah.
right? With other companies that do the same thing they're doing, and they're paying, $200-300 a month to do so.
Pretty crazy.
So I just called a couple of them up and saying, listen, we believe that if you're spending money on advertising, then your company should be the only company featured on that page.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me?
Hmm.
And of course they do.
Yeah.
So we were able to, get them in at a smaller price point to earn that trust. And I used the directory site to do that part.
That's a great foot in the door. Awesome.
Yeah.
I have some other students I was talking to. I was telling you this earlier, who do
Yeah.
exactly the same thing with the directory site, and you can make actually a pretty good living just doing that alone. Really, I mean,
You really can.
yeah,
Yeah. And then as far as outsourcing that, I was able to hire one sales rep who does phones, and this story is phenomenal also within itself because she's a stay-at-home mom. She don't have to worry about daycare. She's averaging anywhere from 6 to 10 sales a week
that's awesome.
off of something that we learned from you that we kind of
Cool.
tweaked a little bit. You know what I mean? So you really learn that we really affect the world
Yeah,
in a positive way. So inside of a year, I went from cubicle life to getting local clients to
yeah.
looking how we can actually better serve those local clients. And as a result of that, now we're impacting other people's lives.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how long, and I think I remember from when you told me it was 9 months exactly, right? From starting to full time to when you actually quit the job.
Correct. Yeah, it was inside of 9 months. So inside of 1 year is from the day we went down to the basement. That's when I realized that look, I don't have a plan B.
Yeah,
Right? I just got to do it. And then that's when I stopped resisting. I got out of my own way. It sounds kind of cliche, right? You got to get out of your own way.
well, it's true. It's true. You're limited by your own beliefs.
Yep,
Got to think big.
that's it. So, and now, man, at first I was, extremely kind of skeptical. Your transparency kind of won me over, but I didn't think. I don't know if you remember this, but I told you, say, man, Paul, say, I'm gonna be one of your success stories. You remember me telling you that?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was out. That's a couple of days out of the basement, man. I was like, man, I have no choice. I got to get this thing done.
Yeah.
And now to to be able to kind of come on and share the story, man, it's actually pretty cool. This is pretty cool stuff, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm just hoping to really inspire people with these interviews. I think I've got like 4 or 5 of them now with people just like you who, just they were fed up and they had enough and they just wanted to make a change and follow the training. And I just think it's going to be cool because it's going to inspire people. Like, people can hear it come from me and hear my transformation story, but once they actually hear it from other people, I think it starts to become more believable. Like, they can start to really get inspired by it. So I don't know. I just hope that it helps, give people the extra push that they need. So that's kind of why I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And just do it. I mean, I didn't do anything creative.
Yeah.
The only thing I did was follow the steps, and then once you follow the steps and you get the results, and then you start to think outside the box a little bit, but the foundation is right there. You just got to put the time in.
Yeah.
So that's on. Yep.
Yeah. So I'd like to talk more about hiring the salesperson. Is there any tips you can give anyone on that?
As far as hiring someone, man, I did. For me, my personal thing is, stay-at-home moms.
Mm-hmm.
I think stay-at-home moms is great because you help them in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
So one tip is, if someone already has phone experience, that's one of the things I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
That I really didn't want to fight, trying to make someone not be afraid of the telephone.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Yep. So if they already have phone experience, and then if they wanted to work from home,
Mm-hmm.
those are the individuals that I look for.
Cool.
And then what I do is we just we hammer it out with them. We get on the phone and work on the script. I feel like if I can't close it, right?
Yeah.
Then I can't expect someone else to.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense for sure.
Yep. So I work with them to get the script to where they hone it in and make it themselves, and then just kind of coach them up until they get that first sale. And then once they get that first sale, it's off to the races.
Yeah. It snowballs from there.
Yep. So I wouldn't reinvent the wheel on that. I'll just find someone who's already enjoys talking on the telephone, and then just train them on your particular product and the company culture that you're trying to create, and then just help build them up, because I think there's a lot of people who work in call centers, who work in different places, to where if a company gets too big, sometimes they lose sight that the employees are the most important piece of it.
Oh yeah.
So just focus in on building people up.
Cool. Are you doing just commission only, or are you doing like a base pay plus commission?
It's commission only, believe it or not.
Cool.
And what I do is and I'll share this, but I pay 25% of what they bring in. So my whole goal is to price it out to where they can at least make $115, $120 a sale. And if they do a couple sales a day,
that's pretty good money then for them. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
So that's how we do that. We want to make sure we can, have the opportunity to at least get $200-$300 a day.
Cool. Yeah, I thought I'd ask you about that because I know a lot of other people are going to wonder and they see that vision of hiring a salesperson, and I hear it all the time from people. So I think that'll be really helpful for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And that alone right there was along with the local marketing, but that was huge in replacing the income, because we was able to diversify. It was getting those sales in on the weekly basis. And then that allowed me to take my time and really focus in on helping and I didn't reinvent the wheel, Paul. I only focus in on HVAC companies.
Oh, I was going to ask you that too. So you're staying niche specific then.
That's it, man.
Cool.
It's just AC companies, and it's so many. I used to think that we can have all the clients or what have you, or you'll run out of clients. Mm-hmm. Impossible.
Yeah.
You'll never run out of clients.
Yeah, I was talking to someone else who was in the medical field, like he actually worked in the medical field, and we were kind of comparing, if you stay niche specific kind of to like a specialist, if you look at like the medical industry, the doctors who are specialists make all the money, you know what I mean? So there's kind of a cool unique feature to being a specialist and being the guy who, I'm the HVAC guy, you want to work with me,
That's it. And it's just easier also from a learning curve. You don't have to relearn the industries, right?
Yeah, the keywords and stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah, but that came from the training, man. I didn't make that up. It's right there.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. So, are you staying in your own backyard? Is the other question I had relating to the niche. Are you just targeting your area, or are you going all over?
all over. In fact, I sent a couple more emails out, and I have a client and landed a client in Los Angeles just last week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it's all over. I do just focus on the smaller cities, though. I really don't focus in on the major cities. I stay with a population of under 100,000 people.
Yeah, that low hanging fruit is nice.
Yep,
Yep.
yep, and
I try to do the same thing. Yep.
yeah,
I mean, I've got clients I've ranked years ago and still ranking without even touching them. So that's kind of the benefit of doing that for sure.
yeah. And the one of my clients, Paul, is like what I'm able to do is like we sell 10 keyword packages for like $1,000 a month and $1,000 a month. And then once we get them ranked there, they say, look, man, we want other cities. And I say, sure, we can help you with that, but one client turned into multiple streams of income because
Oh,
of that.
yeah. I actually
Yeah.
had
So
one client. We did 52 cities. So 52 different maps listings. Insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you set the bar real high on that one.
Yeah, that one was pretty crazy. So,
Nice.
yeah, that's
So
awesome. Yeah, you
that
get
was just
deals
like,
like that sometimes,
yeah,
So,
it was one of the situations where you didn't think of it, but he's like, no, man, I want another city and I'll pay you for it. I was like, well, okay, we can get it done for you.
yeah, that's really cool. So, if you had to start over, is there anything you'd do differently?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't do anything. Well, I wouldn't. I think that I probably would have did it sooner,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not wait until the 12th hour to do it. I think it was a faith thing.
Hmm.
Like and I think sometimes we don't know it. When you have more time to kind of when you start working on like growing your business, and you also have more time to read, and you also
Yeah.
have time to do some self improvement also,
Hmm.
and you start to realize, man, there's certain things that happen to us at a younger age we're still dealing with as we get older.
Hmm.
So you got to kind of dig all that stuff up, because it'll affect the way you look at yourself and your confidence wise,
Yeah.
right? It's a lot of self created doubt. So I'll just do it sooner. Just get out the boat sooner, and it's either swim or swim.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's one thing I regret too, is not starting sooner. I can remember the first course that I came across is called the Rich Jerk, and I made money with it, like, I don't know, right away, right out the gate. I made money with it, and it was CPA marketing is how I started making money with that one. And I quit for like a year and started pursuing the band stuff and went on tour and
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. So I mean, I think back, if I would have stuck with it, I would be like a year ahead of where I am now. I always think about that.
Yeah,
So, but I came back to it, so that's what's important. And you are where you are for a reason. Things happen for a reason. So, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
cool.
amazing, man. I'm glad you came back, man. Otherwise, I probably would have been still out there swimming in the water.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how things work out, right? So,
Yeah. Yep. And so now that's where my vision is now is I want to get this to a point to where I can hone it in and help as many people as possible also, at the given time. But um, everything that we need, this is what I realized, man, everything that we need to be successful. Oh, by the way, and I'm kind of the way you keep updating it, because I bought it, a couple years ago, and
yeah,
you keep updating it. I think that's huge.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
when you're starting out, one of my fears was, okay, it's relevant now, but will it be relevant 6 months from now or 12 months from now?
Yeah.
So if anyone have those type of questions or concerns like I did, Paul really updates that stuff. I still go in there and I still learn. I go in there still.
Yeah,
Um,
I like to
have
do a lot of
questions.
webinars and live stuff. That way people can ask questions and stuff. So I try to do that at least, every other month.
hmm So that part is cute, is cool too. It's like when the 7 pack turned to the 3 pack, I got it from you first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So my source, I don't have to worry about what that the other guys are saying, because I know you got that part of it handled. So if there's anything that we need to know, I just go check out Map Mentors, and yeah,
Awesome.
you keep it updated. So that's awesome.
Cool. Any last advice that you'd give anyone new starting off? I mean, I know you already said get started sooner.
Yeah, just man, just believe in yourself. I think that's what it all boils down to. If you believe that you can do it, then you can do it. And I don't remember who said it, but they say he who says he can and he who says he can are both right.
Yeah, I think that was Napoleon Hill.
There you go, right?
Yeah,
So
that's a good one.
yep. So just believe that you can, but more importantly, you have to really get locked in with the right mentor,
Yeah.
and someone that's gonna be there, who actually do what you're actually wanting to do,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
great advice.
yep. So anything to do with local maps, man, I highly recommend Paul. So
Awesome. I really appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time. I know you're busy and, running a business, and it's just really cool that you came back and shared your story. And I think it's going to help inspire a lot of people. So thanks again.
awesome. And let me just say real quick before I go, last night at dinner, man, I told my son, and I don't get excited about too much anything. I said, man,
Hmm.
guess who called me today, man? He said, who? Because he's doing the course also.
Yeah.
He go, Paul James. I said, Paul James called me, man. He go, what?
Nice. Yeah, I get the same way. Like when I think back to the Rich Jerk, and
Yeah,
now I talk to, because he's like my mentor. He's who
yeah,
started out helping me. It's a guy named Kelly Felix, and I get the same way. You're just excited when the guy who taught you what is you're like friends with him. It's just
yeah.
kind of a cool thing. I don't know.
It is a
I,
cool
I know
thing,
what you
man.
mean. I know what you mean for sure. Like for me, it doesn't. It feels like why are you looking up to me? Like I'm just an average guy. But I kind of understand what you mean, because I feel like the same way towards like Kelly Felix, who got me
Right.
started. Like you just kind of feel like this. I don't know, like just gratefulness towards that person. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's it, man. And let me tell you something. I've been around. I don't get autographs from nobody, right? I don't, man.
Yeah.
I've been around some, a couple of my friends playing the NFL, guys playing the NBA, whole nine. So we've been around, and they go, man, hey, you want to take a picture of that guy? I go, nah, man, I don't want to take a picture with this dude, man. For what? Right? But I think that whenever you want something so bad, and there's a lot of information out there, and you don't know where to go, um, and you wanna see the good in people,
Hmm.
right? But I spent a lot of money too where it didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
So when you finally find that one person, or that one mentor, to where pretty much everything that you said, man, it happened that way. So it's
Awesome.
like I was like, man, it's like you kind of have more faith in humanity that everybody's not out there trying to get you,
Yeah.
right? So you,
Yeah.
you can kind of defeat that mentality, and it's just a breath of fresh air, man, to know that if I get into a bind and I got someone I can call and say, okay, man, this is what's going on,
Yeah.
what man, that type of
Awesome.
thing, man. So yeah, you're an average person, man, but at the same time, man, you're transparent, and I think on the internet that make you a superhero.
Awesome. I appreciate that, man. Thanks so much.
Yes,
Awesome.
indeed.
Yeah, it really makes my day to hear stuff like that, and makes me want to keep doing what I'm doing. So awesome.
Cool.